to another episode of the Weekly Pod Download. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Weekly Download. My name is Mitchell Dumlao, and I'm so glad that you're here. And today we're going to learn about writing the perfect pitch or proposal to close one of your biggest clients. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this is that a lot of folks out there want to learn how to get more clients, and the process of getting more clients. I've talked about that a little bit during the weekly download, or you can find some videos on my YouTube channel. But once you get these leads and they start coming in and you have your first sales call and they're interested, the next step is to send a proposal. And that proposal is going to make or break the deal, because sometimes a phone call could be really great, but if the proposal doesn't really explain why you're qualified for the job, sometimes people will get cold feet and not close the deal. It really depends on the client. But today we're going to talk about a winning proposal. Now, in a proposal, you really have to know what your client wants, needs, what their goals are, and what they're looking for. And that is during the sales process. So my sales process is different from could be different from everybody else's, but I've learned from some pretty good salespeople. And during the sales process, one of the first stages is a discovery call. So a discovery call is when you talk to your client on a phone or at a meeting, and you ask them questions to discover what they need in order for you to have a working relationship. Whether it's they have goals, what are their goals for the year, more sales, more awareness, more followers. Also, what are their needs? They need to have more content in order for them to get more sales, followers, or conversions. And at the same time, you're also going to learn more about them as a company. What's their overall reach and goal? What's their mission? What's their vision? What's their voice? And who's their target audience, right? All of this is really going to play a part in writing the pitch and the proposal, because all of those are going to be part of the text that you write. And the idea is to know what your client or your prospect needs, what their goals are, and what they're requesting, and then tailoring your proposal around that and using case studies and testimonials in your portfolio as a way to show them that you're qualified and competent for the role. Okay? It's very similar to a job. If there's a job posting, you create your cover letter and your resume according to that job so that you can actually get them interested, rather than just having a blanket proposal or a blanket resume. It's all about customizing your proposal towards your client. Okay. Now, when you are getting into the proposal process and you're writing, there's several things that you can use. You can use Google Docs, Word documents. You can use Photoshop if you're good at that, Illustrator. I like to use PandaDoc. PandaDoc is a great online service, and it's a SaaS. It's a software that you can use where you can create proposals and documents and agreements and contracts on a cloud. Basically, you can do it online, and you can start, you can design it like it's a website, like a Squarespace. It's very cool because you can automate it with Zapier so that it can actually trigger things within your CRM. It's getting a little complicated, but I'll talk about that later. But the whole idea is having some sort of software or program you're going to use to create your proposal. I like to keep mine visual. I'm a video producer. I am a videographer and creator, and you too, so you want to keep it visual. So I use PandaDoc. Now, when you start writing, it's all about having the end in mind. The end in mind is closing the deal and making sure the client knows that you are competent for the needs that they have and the goals that they want. At the same time, the services that they request. Okay, so it's all about showing first your reel in your portfolio that's tailored towards that. You're not going to show a fashion video for someone that's looking for a food recipe to grow their followers on TikTok. Okay, try to find a portfolio pieces that you can use to show that you've done this before and you have experience. Other thing too is that if you have testimonials and case studies from past clients that have proven that you've done the work before, show that. Have those case studies, have those testimonials ready so that your prospect can see, wow, I've seen their portfolio, they've done it before, and they have proof, social proof, that they can get it done. All right. And of course, in the text, you should explain to your background, your experience, and why you are the one to choose for that job. And you could do that through, of course, going through the bullet points of what they want, need, and they request, and saying you want more followers with video content in TikTok. I'm perfect for the job because I've helped other food companies grow on TikTok. Before I have 10 years experience. Here's my portfolio. Here are case studies and testimonials. Okay, that's a really great way to get someone to really understand that you can get the job done. They see your experience, they've seen, case studies, you've done it before for somebody else, and they see the results. At the same time, they see a portfolio piece to see if it works for them. Right? It's pretty, much what a proposal should do. And at the same time, as you start explaining and writing about your experience and then show your reel, and then of course have your case studies, you want to also get into the quote stage. How much is it going to cost? All right. So I've talked about this before on how to break down a budget, but this is where you start creating the budget based on the scope of work. Now you can have maybe just a regular rate sheet where it just says, hey, I cost this much an hour, this much a day, or whatnot. But it would be great if you also tailor your budget towards their actual goals and needs. Like if they're asking for a 4-episode cooking series and you are trying to quote them for TikTok videos, you're actually going to be paid a lot less than what it's actually going to cost to make those 4 episodes. So you got to make a budget for those 4 videos, right? Easier said than done, because once you start getting into the nitty gritty of things, you got to ask yourself, okay, do I need a food stylist? Do I need a gaffer? Do I need a set designer? So this is when you start crafting, several tiers. And that's what I like to do for my proposal. You have your high tier, a high budget tier, and your low budget tier. So you can give them options, and then a package tier. Like if you have a standard package, then you can actually have for four videos, it can cost this much, it's 20% off. And what's great about that is you want to give them options that are tailored towards their requests. And at the same time, you also want to break down the budget so they can see why it costs that much. Now you can break it down in pre-production, production, and post-production, just so you have 3 stages. It's easy for you as a producer to schedule, to budget, because you know how that works. At the same time, you can do it by role if you want, or by certain categories, right? Bottom, above the line, below the line, But honestly, for me, it's always been easier to just break it down with pre-production, production, and then having post-production. Those 3 line items you could put in the different things. Like pre-production includes creative development, script writing, shot lists, treatments, storyboards, or whatnot. Production is the production, management of the crew, rental equipment, finding the location scouting, all of that. That's also pre-production. At the same time, with post-production, it's editing, color correction, VFX, music. So all of that really goes down to how much does it cost for each of those sections, and you can generalize it in a proposal. Now, if they want a line item budget down the line so that they can see what specifically you're paying for each one of those roles in post-production, then that's later. But during the proposal stage, you just want to give them a general idea of how much it's going to cost. And then from there, when they start asking you, then let's break it down. Then you can break it down by role, by department, or whatnot. Okay? Having that inside of your proposal is going to really help them see, okay, I know what I'm going to be paying for and what I'm going to get in return. And the last thing you should do too is have a clear, scope of work. So what are they actually going to get when they invest in you? And at the same time, what is the engagement process? So when they start working with you, how does that look like? So you have to say, okay, when we sign the contract, then we have an onboarding call, then we come back to you with some ideas, and then you approve those ideas, then we schedule the shoot, we execute the shoot, send you a rough draft 3 days later, you have unlimited rounds of notes, and within a week, we can give you the final draft, right? So the people know what's gonna happen when they sign the dotted line. And then last but not least, you should have a CTA or your contact info so they know to contact you. Now, you might have sent this through email, and then all of a sudden, 3 months down the line, they could forget, they have the proposal, they forgot where the email is, but they saved it on their hard drive, but then now they don't know how to contact you. Okay, so I know that's very easy, but having a CTA or your contact info is key. So hopefully that was helpful. Again, when you're having a proposal process, it's all about your style, but those are the main points that have helped me when I've closed deals with proposals. All right. So if you had any questions, please let me know. You can email me at Mitchel@videocontentschool or leave a comment below. And if you like this video, please like, comment, and share this with anyone you think will find this helpful. And thanks again for watching. Remember, I post every single week, and I really appreciate you for watching. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video.